The most significant event today emerges from the southern frontline. Ukrainian forces, after successfully ambushing Russian Su-34 bombers, received validation of their operation through the loss of life acknowledgement from several Russian military bloggers, casting an anticipative silence before the Russian Defense Ministry's reaction. Eventually, the ministry responded with an unexpected claim that, contrary to admitting the loss of any jets in the south, they downed 4 Ukrainian aircraft in the region. Ground reports from Ukrainian combatants in Krinky confirmed an absence of bombings post-interception, supporting the reality of the ambush. This was further substantiated by the absence of any recent Russian footage documenting airstrikes, insinuating a counter-information campaign by the Russian Ministry of Defense. Leading Russian sources acknowledged Ukraine's acquisition of a squadron of F-16 jets, now positioned across the airfields of western Ukraine. This aligns with the Institute for the Study of War's reference to a strategy document from the Estonian Ministry of Defense, which implied an end-of-year deadline for F-16 deliveries from the Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, and Belgium, sparking further discussion on the Russian aviation's response to the ambush and their subsequent silence. The decreased aerial assault frequency granted Ukrainian units at the eastern riverbank bridgehead the opportunity to escalate their counteroffensives. This breathing room proved timely, as Russian forces had recently intensified their assaults. A central village offensive saw Russian attempts to besiege and concurrently attack Ukrainian forces from various fronts. Ukrainian fighters managed to thwart the secondary flank assaults, yet Russian forces managed to penetrate and secure central positions. Continuous conflict ensued as Ukrainian soldiers worked to limit the Russian expansion. A Marine reported that Ukrainian forces eventually isolated the Russian contingent on the mainland, leading them into buildings for shelter from relentless Ukrainian fire, which subsequently were destroyed by the Ukrainian M777 artillery once occupied. Furthermore, a Russian rescue mission, consisting of combat vehicles and personnel, was launched to allow trapped forces a chance to escape, but it was too late. Ukrainian forces dismantled this effort as well. This strategic confrontation wound down as Russian aircraft were being downed, permitting Ukrainian forces to reclaim central settlement control. Ukrainian drone reconnaissance units reported nocturnal Russian attempts at scouting within forested areas. With recent enhancements to their electronic warfare capabilities, Ukrainian operatives claim to have intercepted 35 Russian drones in a single day, indicating a possible depletion of unmanned aerial vehicles on the Russian side, forcing their soldiers to resort to ground reconnaissance. These efforts were compromised by mines deployed by Ukrainian drones in the area. Ukrainian drone operators, aiming to destroy as much enemy equipment as possible, have further demonstrated their efforts. The commander of the Meteor's Birds drone detachment showcased a clip where they neutralized approximately 15 Russian vehicles, which included armored and transport vehicles, within a span of 2 days. Their tactical approach involves identifying and mining heavily trafficked Russian routes with drones under the cover of night, then proceeding to neutralize the stationary vehicles by daybreak. This proves immensely effective due to the limited time it offers Russians for organizing retreats. Additionally, Marine Brigade drone units have been actively targeting Russian forces. Videos from the Marines depict destruction of Russian armor positioning for offensive maneuvering, halting reinforcement efforts to the northeastern approaches to Krinky, and multiple grenade strikes on enemy infantry. The 35th Marine Brigade recently broadcasted footage revealing their detection and subsequent HIMARS strike on a structure heavily occupied by Russian forces, resulting in its immediate collapse with a single rocket. In parallel, Ukrainian HIMARS teams released footage showcasing their operations, thematically marked by the Christmas season.